So before we begin tonight, I want to start off by saying that this video is not intended to drive up panic or fearmonger. Rather, it's intended to be more comedic and informational on my channel as a whole and what I intend to do here with what I have and what I'm able to do. I've become more knowledgeable about COPA since beginning scripting this and understand more about what they're actually attempting to do, whether or not it's actually going to end up doing anything at all, why the innocent majority of content creators are being affected, and why a generally justifiable panic is getting stirred up. Google's problematic business decisions become YouTube's terrible automated systems, which ultimately end up as the individual content creators' problems, especially when lawmakers try to butt their way into the internet with no idea how to do that with any tact or elegance. Just seeing the wide majority of good people as low-life scum trying to steal and sell information from impressionable kids. Google won't change, they'll keep selling our information, but they sure as hell can try to make us individuals suffer for their greed. And YouTube's no help because they want everything to be automated. I won't go more into it, it's long and complicated, and there are plenty of people on YouTube who've actually been through business school that know a lot more than I do on how much of a train wreck the whole situation is. Needless to say, this video is intended for a mature audience, involves strong language and the such. Please enjoy.
Choke on my rage! Choke on my rage!
You know, I was originally going to go on this tirade about how YouTube literally has a kids app that they need to moderate more stringently and probably not collect information for advertisers from, and that that's where the for kids content should go, and that YouTube and the government should probably stop forcing the entire internet to be the parents to kids whose parents don't think it's a good idea to teach them internet safety and responsibility, or, you know, monitor them. You know, how it used to be before parents just started expecting the entire world around them to conform to their idyllic paradise they think that the world should be for their kids. I feel like I'm tirading when I meant not to. But yeah, YouTube's enforcing new standards and practices for channels to be judged by on whether or not their channel's content is for kids. And apparently they're also making bots to decide what videos are meant for kids or not. And the FTC could fine you almost 50 grand if the robot says, hey, you marked this video that you created and that you should know the demographic you're targeting for as not for kids. But I think that your content is for kids, judging by the vague guidelines I'm given, so it is for kids, because I say so, and the FTC believe it? I mean, what am I saying? YouTube's robots are flawless, and are absolutely never wrong. Never, ever, ever. So yeah, as someone who would like to make something out of their channel, I'm pretty justifiably pissed! I've already opted into the option of my channel is not for kids, but I feel like I really need to get it out there and say why I'm saying that. Not just singular videos, but my entire channel. This is not a kid-friendly place, and I will cover for you literally every facet of what strange glue seeps through the cracks of this corner of the internet, and why children, specifically the 13 and unders, who really shouldn't be on YouTube without supervision anyway, should not be watching my channel, as well as literally anyone under the age of 18 who may not be emotionally mature enough to appropriately process the themes of this channel. Sorry if this video isn't what you expected. I tend to try to keep my content positive for the most part, if critical. But content creators are starting to get thrown under the bus for YouTube and Google's fuck-ups, and I feel like I need to defend what we've got going here by stating my piece on this once and for all, making the truthful, blatant statement, not for kids. Doing my damnedest to make that apparent, and if the FTC comes for me, claiming that I'm lying about this to make more money than the none I'm currently making anyway, I'll fucking sue! First and probably the most obvious of my language, I do not speak in a child-friendly range of vocabulary. I swear a lot and I've always had an expansive lexicon. I say words like fuck and disingenuous and dick. I don't censor myself, not my language nor the subjects I want to cover, but I've never really forced swearing. Both would seem pretty disingenuous. It's fairly easy to tell when someone's holding their tongue or not saying what they mean. At least to me it is. And honestly, that can make content seem, well, phony. Like they're not being honest with themselves nor their audience. I'm personally much more comfortable watching someone that feels comfortable with themselves and what they're saying, even if they're swearing up a storm. And I've heard too many 50-somethings be like, why do they think they've got to be saying so many swear words? Do they think it makes them sound smart or adult? Because it makes them sound stupid and like a child. First of all, What children have you been around, lady, that swear like that? I don't want to know where you grew up. Second, at this point, I think we can safely say that swearing is a good bet for protecting your content at the very least. So there you go. If one of those kinds of people who want to have anyone who swears thrown off a boat into shark-infested waters says something like that around you, politely inform them that they're literally just trying to protect their content. Hell, I may even need to start swearing more, just to be safe. Shit. Another thing that definitely isn't for the younger ones, hell, I'd go so far as to say as some teenagers aren't prepared for, is the subject matter of some of my videos, the topics I cover. My Deloused in the Comatorium video alone should be a good example of this because that video deals with self-hate and abuse, drug abuse, suicide, death, and displays some grotesque visuals where I chose to implement them. You can't give me the old, oh, it looks cartoony so it must be for kids bullshit. Give a kid Mr. Pickles and you deserve the consequences of their trauma. Just because something is animated, or at the very least artistically focused, or focus on anthropomorphic characters doesn't mean it's automatically intended for kids. Frisk the Cat has entered the chat. Speaking of which, I make very blatant references to sex and sexuality. In my How I Spent My Vacation review, I covered a few basic points about anthro character design, mainly focusing on the designs of characters like Minerva Mink and Wilfred Wolf and how and why designs like theirs work for what they're meant to do. I'm pretty sure parents wouldn't want me talking to their kids about why Dobon Honkeros on an animal makes sense when you're analyzing anthropomorphic character design. And I doubt any kids would be interested to hear me jabber on about the effects of commercializing misanthropy and how society views and rationalizes it throughout the years. That's the next thing I'll be talking about. Boris Karloff, Jim Carrey, Benedict Cumberbatch. And of course I get it. I talk about movies and TVs and cartoons and specials that are all perfectly fine for kids. But this is YouTube. If you wanted to watch a movie, you could just watch a movie. But going on YouTube, people flock towards the personalities discussing the movie. I play video games every now and again that are perfectly suitable for kids. I also play games with blood, and violence, and swearing, and decapitation. When it comes to content creators, what's being covered rarely matters. What matters the most is the personality behind it. If it were about the game, people would play it themselves. It's about seeing how different people react to the game, and some of those people don't have personalities that are okay for children to be watching, because they swear and talk about adult things. And vor. Oh, look at this! Dr. Pepper, a sweet beverage that children can enjoy as well as adult. I deem this beverage as for kids beverage. But I literally just put Di Serrano in it. This is a cocktail. It doesn't matter if one of the components is okay for kids in your eyes. The other that is equally as prominent definitely isn't for kids. And that makes the whole not okay for kids. You see what I'm getting at here? This whole thing seems to be about money and information anyway. They seem to want to keep the personalized ads off the videos they deem as children's content. And checking the not for kids option, but still actually making content meant for kids, means to them that you're willingly putting personalized ads on children's content to avoid losing ad revenue, so that Google and YouTube can continue to collect information from children and target them for advertising. To an extent, I can understand, but the road to hell is paved with good intentions. There needs to be less hostility and more clarity and understanding between the FTC and content creators. That's the most important thing here. My question is, why aren't they making ridiculous life-destroying fines for people who mark their videos as for kids, but make content that is very not okay for kids? I think that'd deserve worse penalties. I guess that's just me though. They really should make a list of criteria for what can take a video from kid-friendly to not, rather than the other way around, and causing every content creator on the site to panic. I guess all they care about is the money and information and advertising anyway. And that's why I am fully opting out of running ads on my channel. I will not monetize this channel. But Blight! I thought you said you wanted to make this channel something big, something great, something that people would look forward to, something that can sustain itself. Why would you choose not to monetize? Simple. There are other ways to make a profitable YouTube channel. Honestly, safer, more stable options. YouTube's ad revenue system is mercurial and unpredictable anyways, subject to enormous things like this happening. So from the very start, there will be no ads on my videos. This is an ad-free channel. If you see ads, it's probably because someone claimed the video and monetized it for themselves, unless it's a sponsorship or brand deal. If I'm promoting something, I'd want to make sure that whatever I'm advertising is something I actually endorse or believe in, doing so of my own volition. Hey Wizards of the Coast, can I talk about Magic the Gathering Arena? That'd be neat. But there's one more countermeasure I want to start enforcing. A preface of sorts. Something stylized, but that will get its point across in telling people who these videos are intended for. At the start of every video, or at least my review slash discussion slash think piece videos, at least for now, I don't know if it'll look natural on my Let's Plays, I will begin them with: the following is intended for mature audiences and is not suitable for children or younger teens. This video contains strong language, sexual themes, crude humor, violence, blood and gore, alcohol references, frightening imagery, and involves discussion on the impact of automated government regulations on the safety and financial stability of internet content creators. Viewer discretion is advised. And if even that, even not monetizing my channel, telling them openly that it's not meant for kids, why it's not meant for kids, and the fact that I will literally be stating before every video why my videos aren't for kids hasn't convinced them that I know what audience I'm going for, I'm pretty sure any lawyer worth their salt can see how much of an effort I'm making for the sake of clarity to protect my content. Also, my analytics, to whatever accuracy they are, tell me that my audience is all at least 18, so... fucking, I'm done. Go watch the Tear of Grace video about this, it's funny. Or if you need something to help you calm down about this whole mess, go watch the Jim Sterling video about it. Content creators like me and most content creators who are targeting a mature audience will probably be fine. I just wanted to say my piece on this and what precautions I will take going forward to protect myself. Good night, one and all.